No one is perfect, not even the Uggs. But don't tell them I said that. Here are some screw-ups, edits, and extras from the last episode of The Ugly Truth. We call them Ugly Cuts.
There's no easy way. I actually fantasize almost every time we decide to head to Monterey or Carmel about, I wish we were super wealthy so that we could just helicopter or small plane over.
Yeah.
Because there's no short road. No. There's no shortcut. You've got to go through Hollister and past Gilroy and all these other places that you would never stop at, and it just
like a 3.5 hour drive, no matter which way,
no matter what. And that's the frustrating part. But the decision to go the day before, get a hotel, and then just spend the whole day at the beach and then drive home, it's the best thing to do.
Yeah, that's pretty smart.
Yeah, so we got this cute, and there's no Hilton. Well, there's no, in Carmel, there's no chain restaurant or chain hotels. They're all individually owned and operated. There's really nowhere to build. So these inns, beds and breakfast type places, they're not the best. They're just not. And you can hope that you get a decent one, but they're all so old and outdated. And there are some cute ones, I'm sure. We found one called the Carmel Inn, and it was. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, is it right there on like the corner or something like that?
Yes. Yes, and it was updated real recently, so it was super modern and clean, and we're like, oh, thank God. Now, I did find ants in the bathroom, so I know, and I immediately thought of you. I'm like, oh, yeah, she'd be like, we have ants.
We need a new room.
Yeah, you would not be happy about that, but it was really, really cute, a little overpriced, but nothing in Carmel's cheap, right. So here... That was the thing. I said, wow, there are, like, everybody here has a dog with them. Everybody, except for us and like 2 other people. It was insane. In fact, this one couple, they had a new dog, and then they had their very old dog. So obviously they had got a quote unquote replacement dog. So when their old one dies, they'd still have a dog.
That's terrible.
They had this old dog who could barely it took them an hour to get that dog up the sand hill.
Just pick it up and carry it.
It was a brown lab. The thing must have weighed 80 pounds, and it had a tumor the size of a volleyball on it. And I'm like, what is this, like a bucket list thing we're doing
really,
with this poor animal?
Yeah.
And the dog's like, I give 0 fucks. I just don't want to go up this hill.
This thing hurts.
My God.
Yeah, really.
It's almost cruel.
This was your idea.
It's like, did I ever say to you, hey, I'm old and have cancer. Put me on the beach for a minute so I can struggle up this hill like a worm. No.
So I can walk through the sand.
So, God, I was like, that is almost cruel what you're doing to this poor old dog who's probably 15 years old. And that tumor must weigh 6 pounds. I mean, it was so big.
Right.
Oh, my God. I just don't get it. It was awful. I thought it was really mean, actually, to take that poor animal out. Okay, really quick. Did you read any of the stuff about Kim Cattrall?
Okay, so I know they're trying to make a Sex and the City Part 3.
They're not.
Oh, they're not.
Not anymore.
Okay, and it was because Sarah Jessica Parker and Kim Cattrall, they just couldn't work together? Is that what it was?
No. Basically, there was some kind of script. Kim Cattrall, they've always said that she's been the holdout. She was the holdout for Part 2. She wanted more money. And apparently they were basically blaming her that 3 was dead in the water because she was making all these demands. And they said, she's like, yeah, I'll do it, but I want this much money and I want you to greenlight these other projects I'm working on. That was the rumor. Sarah Jessica Parker was like, oh, we're so disheartened and we're so sad because we had this beautiful script and blah blah blah, but I just guess it's just not going to happen, and she led people to believe that it was Kim Cattrall. So Kim Cattrall was on Twitter and she goes, I woke up to an onslaught of hate in my email from my agent, from everybody saying, oh my God, everybody's saying you're the reason that Sex and the City 3 isn't happening. She's like, it wasn't me. I never said no. I never saw a script. I never negotiated with the studio for anything. This is all bullshit. I did nothing of the sort. So then she was being interviewed by somebody else maybe a week ago. And she said, no, we weren't friends. We worked together and it was amazing. but it's over. She's like, I think they should recast me. You know, if you really want to do it, get a black Samantha in there, you know, change it up a bit. She's like, I honestly don't think that in this day and age, anybody wants to see 4 rich white girls who live in New York to see what they're up to in their 50s. I just don't think people want to see that anymore. It's over. And I completely agree.
She's got a point.
I completely agree with her.
I was kind of surprised when they said there would be a Sex and the City 3, and I'm just like, for what? I mean,
menopause?
And I'm diehard Sex and the City, but
me too.
I'm just like, even Sex and the City 2, where she has that moment with Aiden and the kiss and stuff. And I'm like, come on, well, this is totally fabricated, and this is lame. Like, they had to have some sort of plot twist because it just,
there can't be a happily ever after.
The way the first one ended, or however they did it, it just wasn't good enough or something.
Yeah. There was this discussion that they wanted to bookend the movie and the show with some really great typical Sex and the City ending, and I'm like, we already got that when the series ended. She ended up with Big. That was kind of the whole thing.
That was perfect ending. I felt totally satisfied with the way the series ended.
Yes, and I'm actually okay with the very first movie because, you know, Big and Carrie get married and that's the end of it. Yeah. We did not need anything else, you know. So I completely agree with Kim Cattrall. I'm like, be done. And if y'all really want to continue on, then go for it. But, you know, why don't you diversity it up and maybe, you know, do something different? But you have my blessing is essentially what she's saying. And I'm like, I'm with her, man. I'm done with trying to, you know, Sex and the City it was beautiful and it was completely innovative, and now it's over. Can we just put it to bed?
Time to hang it up, you know?
Maybe there's something new and cool coming. I mean, you know,
what are they going to talk about? Menopause? I mean,
that's what I'm saying. It's like, oh, well, I have cervical cancer now. I mean, it's like, come on, you know, we don't need any more depression. I know the world is bad enough. We don't need 4 bitchy women, you know, talking about how hard it is to send our kids off to college. We all know how hard it is.
Right.
Seriously. Okay. And then this morning, Simon Cowell fell.
I read that. I read that he fell down his stairs and he had to be rushed to the hospital.
Hey, that's a real legit fear of mine because we have stairs in this house.
Yeah, you do.
And you know me. I have fallen up the stairs, so to fall down the stairs is not a big shock. But I was thinking, they said he was going downstairs to make milk because he couldn't sleep, and so he was going downstairs to make some warm milk for himself. I didn't even know people still did that. I thought maybe he'd taken
that really worked.
I was just wondering, maybe he took Ambien and then tried to go downstairs because he was thirsty or something and fell.
I don't know.
I mean, that makes more sense to me than warm milk. I don't know. I'm just wondering. You know, I get it. You don't want to be honest. It's okay. Yeah. We'll just make our own assumptions.
Yeah, I thought maybe he had too many cocktails and just, you know, fell down
one
the
or the other. The Ambien thing, I mean, I've never taken Ambien. I'm really curious, though. Have you taken it?
Oh, yeah. Remember they gave me Ambien when I was in the hospital and I was pregnant with Ryan.
Did you sleep real well?
I started hallucinating and I thought I was on a shipping dock and there was workers all around me.
Oh my God.
And I was like terrified. And the nurse came in and I told her to get out.
That's funny.
Because I was scared. And so then they paged the doctor.
They're like, something's wrong.
Victor called Mom and they all came rushing in. Because I was in a, I think, was I in the corner of the room?
Holy shit. So you were like possessed by a demon or something.
Ambien, yeah.
Holy crap.
So
wow. That is scary.
I'm definitely allergic to that. I can't.
Oh, yeah. Don't. Well, I hope Simon Cowell is going to recover from his tumble down his stairs. Well, I can only imagine.
It's a good time to be injured because America's Got Talent is over. So
yeah, so he has nothing going on, right?
No, nothing at all.
No, but okay. I think that there are people who would do it. I do. I think there are people who would absolutely go, yeah, I'll do that. I mean, it's super short-sighted, but I mean, and Sally Field from what's that stupid movie that the
Murphy's Brown? Or not Murphy's Brown.
Murphy Brown?
That's it. Show.
No. Honestly, Aurora Greenway from Terms of Endearment is basically our mother.
Yeah.
Basically.
It is.
And a little Jane Fonda from Frankie and that new one on Netflix that I like. I wasn't coherent, so that was really terrifying. And then when I was younger, it was when I had my son, but I was still really young because I had him so young, and so I hadn't embraced the understanding how important it is to be a good mom and to stop living like I was a single girl. Mm-hmm. And so I think you were babysitting for me, mm-hmm. and I had gone out with his dad and their friends. And the friend was driving us. And, you know, this was literally the last time I went out and partied. I literally stopped after that. He was drunk driving, and I didn't know. And I was in the back seat of this little Corolla. Mm-hmm. And he found some people that he had been having some problems with at this bar that we had gone to. And so when he saw them, they were in a truck. He hit them head on with me in the car.
Oh, my God.
And the truck started driving forward because they were fighting. And I was like, I'm going to die like this. Like, this is how I'm going to die. I'm going to die because I was an irresponsible person who decided not to be a parent for 3 hours mm-hmm. and do this. I got out of the car and I ran all the way through. It was in a parking lot. I ran all the way to the other side of the parking lot. And I didn't run home because I was pretty close to my apartment. But I remember calling, there weren't cabs. It's not like it is now where you can call an Uber. Yeah. I just remember going over there, and, you know, Tyler's dad was with me. So and his car was there. So we literally ran all the way. And I said, I never want to see any of those people ever again. Yeah. And I never did. I was so lucky. I've never been so frightened before. I thought I was going to die. I really, really did. I go, this is how it's going to end for me? I couldn't believe how stupid it was.
Yeah, really.
I thought, this is just an utter waste of my time.
That's crazy.
I put myself in a lot of dangerous positions back in the day, and I just don't. I'm so lucky I survived. I'm so lucky I wasn't killed and thrown into a barrel somewhere under a house. I mean, so many stupid choices. And you too. You've done
God.
it.
Do you know, and I must confess, this is not a good side of me, but when I was in my 20s, I had a very, very bad habit of sleeping with married men.
Oh, so did I.
And I think...
I'm not excited about that, but I admit it.
And so... But I think about now being a wife and having a family and all of those things, which is what all of those men had. And I think about, you know, how lucky I am that those wives did not find out.
Or at least find out who you were.
Because I would have lost my mind, you know, and I'm sure they would have lost their minds. And so it's just, I'm so remorseful, and those are the ones I wish I could absolutely take back. Like, it's so devastating, and it just, but it could have gone really wrong. I mean, it could be very damaging.
Oh God. You would think we would have known better since our father was never faithful to our mom.
I think that's why we did it, because we had no respect for, you know.
Well, it didn't mean, obviously marriage doesn't mean anything.
Right.
Back then.
And if the guy was willing, then clearly he had no respect for his marriage. So, you know.
Perfect.
Tomato, potato.
Yeah. Tomato, potato. It's so true.
So anyway. Did you get the blood work back on your... Well, we can talk about it afterwards.
My blood work on what?
From your physical.
Yeah, I told you. Oh, yes. Oh, no, I didn't. But yes, I'm very healthy. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm good. It's all in my head, apparently. So if I feel like I'm dying, it's not real. So
okay, good. Well, then you have nothing to complain about.
Up my anti-anxiety meds to make sure that I'm okay.
Good.
Thanks for checking out this week's Ugly Cuts. Join us for an all-new episode dropping every Sunday on your favorite podcast platform and, of course, uglytruth.com. That's UGLEE truth.com.